What's good, Black Star Podcast? This is your boy Jared, and today I was wanting to talk to you guys about the age of men returning. Now, I'm streaming this on both Spotify and this channel. So hold on just a minute. Let me start this podcast episode. So, what's good, guys? Welcome back to Black Star Podcast. It's your boy Jared, and today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the age of men returning. Now, I'm streaming this on both YouTube and Spotify. So you're gonna probably hear the same message that I'm saying on YouTube as I am on this. But let's get into it. The reason why I say the age of men is returning, because look at the law that just got sent back to the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade. Now, that that law is basically what every feminist out here is talking about: my body, my choice. Now, they're right. It's their body, their choice. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to even fucking discredit that. But here's the problem. Most of these women are not going to get the outcomes that they want because of the things that they are doing right now. And the thing is, a lot of these women want to be married. Now, the way that things are going in the U.S., the way things that are going on in westernized countries in general, like the U.K., Canada, the U.S., other westernized countries, things are going to change significantly. Ew, that's nasty. Things are going to change very significantly because you have women becoming the heads of their households, and men are either not getting married, divorcing their wives, the women are divorcing them, and the men are going over to other countries to find wives that are better options than what the ones are in the Western countries are. Which I agree. Travel. Find a submissive, beautiful, submissive, feminine wife in another country if you can, or wherever you are. But most likely, in westernized countries, it's not gonna happen. Now, the reason why I feel the government is, or I believe I should say, the government is reversing Roe versus Wade because of the low population rate, and also because the abortion rate is very high. The abortion rates are actually a lot higher than what the birth rate is, and the problem is the baby boomer generation is taking all the resources from the current generation, which is my generation, millennials, and Generation Xers are about to come out of the work field. But there's less of my generation being born, or the next generation after my generation is being born. So you're having tax problems, and you're also having issues trying to get the men to marry. Now, most men do want marriage. Most men want marriage. Most women know that men want marriage. I'm not going to argue that. But the problem is, these men aren't getting what they want in the U.S., aren't getting what they want in these westernized countries. And the thing is, these women do not understand what men actually want. Men want a feminine, beautiful, inspirational, cooperative, conservative woman. Not a combative, masculine, and abrasive woman that tears down his ideas and to tear down everything that he wants to build. So, the thing is, back 10, 15 years ago, I didn't even know about it. 10, 15, 20 years ago, men started a space on YouTube called The Manosphere. It was a bunch of married white guys that started talking about relationships and marriage. Now, then 10 years ago, there came a variant called the Black Manosphere, the Red Pew community, and all these communities within the Manosphere itself. Now, these communities are aimed at men talking about their issues and comparing and contrasting their notes or their experiences, what's going on with themselves. Now, women, not women. Now that men started, here's the thing. These talks, these red pill, if you want to call it, these male talks. These talks are already being had in barbershops. These talks are already being talked about in barbershops, and it was kept hush and hush. Now that you see typically more single mothers bringing their sons to barbershops to get their hair cut, there's no safe space for guys to talk about this. And with everybody being so damn I don't want to say feminized, but with everybody being so sensitive nowadays, it's hard to express what's going on and give them truth or give them reality, because they're gonna that truth is always gonna be looked at as as hatred or hate speech, which is not. It's actually freedom of speech. Now, with guys starting to with guys starting to come into YouTube, come to the YouTube space to talk about their issues. There was one specific guy. We all know who he is, Kevin Samuels. God rest his soul. Kevin basically took the Manosphere and put it out into the public. So now now that guys are starting to express what they really feel and what's really been going on with them, women don't like it. Don't know why, but women don't like it. So now you have guys actually expressing what's going on and how things have really been going, and what men don't like and the women don't like it, especially feminists. They don't like it because it basically tears down their whole entire vision of what things should be. So the whole mansplaining, manspreading, all that shit is been getting talked about. And the thing is, a lot of these guys are sick of the bullshit. So what are these guys doing? These guys are saying, you know what? Nobody gives a fuck about me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this country. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm actually feel like I'm needed and I'm wanted. And the women don't like it. The women, especially black women in particular, black women tried to cancel Kevin Samuels multiple times because Kevin, although some things that he said was brash, but the thing is, the overall thing was he was telling the truth to a lot of people, to black men, And honestly, if you really want to think about it, Kevin was actually worse on black men than he was on black women. He's even said it. I was watching some of his older streams a couple days ago. Kevin was talking about black men and their image, how we don't control our own image, and how we've basically been um, our image has basically been controlled by other races and women. We've never had a control of our image. So people wanted to cancel Kevin because Kevin gave the overall truth and reality of what men have been going through, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. Now, let's get back to it. The age with Kevin passing, a lot of women think that Kevin's message is going to stall. It's going to die out. It's not going to be nothing more than just a paperweight. But the problem is, what these people don't understand is Kevin just basically pointing to the overall situation. Men have already been talking about this, and with the government starting to roll back laws that women took advantage of, you're starting to see a lot of women. You're gonna start seeing a lot of women start to check what they say and who they have relations with. Now, it's probably going to happen. The laws in the Supreme Court now, but with a conservative majority, I have a feeling that law is going to actually be repealed. Now, with I'm trying to figure out what else I want to say, because I have a lot I want to say, but I don't want to get this channel clipped. Think about it is, nobody's been wanting to ask men what's been really going on. They've always cared about what women have to say, like especially when it's like an assault charge. They always believe in women over what the man actually says. Because let's face it, most women nowadays are violent. Most women nowadays don't know how to control their anger, and we always give them a pass on, oh, they're being too emotional. No, you as an adult have the ability to control your actions. We've been seeing a lot of women get arrested because they've been doing a lot of horrific things. A lot. And the thing is, men are getting tired of it. So men are starting to leave the country. And the thing is, who's the biggest workforce in the U.S. and who's the biggest? Who does the most essential work in the U.S.? That means the dirty jobs, like maintaining power lines, construction, maintaining buildings, building new infrastructure like power stations, subsystems, everything that makes society run is designed and built by men. You don't see too many women doing construction. You don't see too many women in the tech fields. You don't see too many women doing the hard labor jobs. You see women typically going into more HR or nursing jobs. And that's the fair and balanced truth. It's not me trying to downplay women. They do play an important role in the world. But the thing is, the jobs that actually make life easier for them is actually what men have to do, and that's the hardest jobs that men have to do. So men are starting to take their money, their legacies, overseas. You see Richie Mack, you see a bunch of white guys, you see a bunch of black, you see a few black men going over to Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, um, DR, Costa Rica, Mexico, Japan, um, Philippines. You got a bunch of guys going Laos, Indonesia. You got men going to a lot of these places to try to find traditional wives because these guys want these women. Femininity. Here's the thing. Femininity is the most valued resource in the U.S. That is the thing that a lot of men are looking for in the U.S. And the thing is, a lot of women in the U.S. don't know how to be feminine. A lot of women in the U.S. don't know how to be wives. They don't know what they don't know what it takes to. They don't know what it takes for a man. They don't know what it takes to keep their men. Whereas with these other countries, these women know how to treat their men, how to keep their men happy, how to please their men because they understand that their men are needed. You don't see them walking around saying, "I'm strong. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man." You don't see these women in these traditional countries doing that. In the U.S., especially with black women, you see black women saying, "I don't need. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man, but I want you." Or when they do get a man, they criticize that man. They make that man feel like shit. They do a lot of things, and that's all races of American. That's all races in the U.S. and Westernized countries. That's not just. That's not just you. That's not just U.S. itself. That's all countries. And the thing is, a lot of women don't understand what men really have to go through every day. They think, they think that a man's life is easy. A man's life is not easy. The thing is, as a man, if you don't go out here and and create and build and become the best at your craft, or you don't go to work, there's no there's no there's no shelter for us. There's only one shelter per 100 to 200 women's shelters. There's really no shelters for us. We have to build. We can't just wait for everything to just be handed to us. We have to actually go out here and build. Not saying that women just sit on their ass and not do anything, but a lot of women don't understand what a man has to do in his life to even become successful. The thing is, these women want these guys that make it $100,000 and more. But the thing is, they don't know what it takes in order for these guys to actually do what they want. And then they're coming around talking about like, oh, I'm not gonna bring anything to the table. I'm just gonna bring me and this good wop. But the thing is, I'm sorry to say, ladies, but that your pussy get old. Pussy gets extremely old. It feels the same. It does all that. But the thing is, when you say that, it's called hate speech. No, I do not hate women. I'm being truthful. I'm being honest because a lot of people don't understand what an actual man has to go through. Believe it or not, you do not understand what it takes for a man to even just become successful, to make $1 million a year, to make even $100,000 a year. It takes a lot of work, dedication, and effort in order to even do that. Not saying I'm top one. I'm not even saying I'm the top 20%, 50%, but I work. But the thing is, with me trying to actually build something and build a company myself, I'm finding that it's very hard and it takes a lot of dedication to even do that. And the thing is, a lot of women don't understand that a man has to focus on building. Like when he comes home, if he has something if he has something he has to do, he has to, what the hell is that? Okay. I just had email. But they don't understand that. when a guy comes home and he has to work on a project, he doesn't he can't just sit there and just play games or listen to arguments or have an argument with you about something nonsensical. Because a lot of things that women want to argue about in reality is not really it's not really that important. Sorry to say it, but it's not. Because sometimes you be want to argue about your friends. Sometimes you be want to argue about some little shit that's been some little shit. But the thing is, come to me about it. But the thing is, don't yell at me. Don't do any of that stuff. And a lot of women don't understand what that actually does. But in order for guys to be happy, what's simple? Cook for me, smash. I don't want to say the other words. Do it. Just let's keep it fun. Let's keep it real. Cook, clean, be submissive, and silence. We don't want to. We men don't like to argue. Me, I'm a person that just hates arguing. Yell at me, I'ma leave. I'll be gone next minute. I can't deal with conflict. I can deal with conflict, but more on the fact of I have a lot of pent up aggression. So if I lose my shit, that turns to something else, and I'm not trying to get a fucking damn charge. So just if you have a guy that's a quiet guy that really doesn't argue that much, just know that that man's probably got some shit going on that he really doesn't even want to talk to you about because it might turn into some other shit. Instead of criticizing what Kevin said, you have to listen to the message. Don't listen to the tone. Don't listen to don't listen to the the way how harsh she's being. Don't listen to the tone. Turn off the screen or flip the screen upside down and just listen to the message because the message is the most important. That message that Kevin is actually trying to teach is the most important. But a lot of women, it goes over a lot of women's head because a lot of women feel like Kevin's just, I hate women. He didn't hate women. He actually loved women. But that's going to be it for this podcast episode because I am also streaming on Spotify. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys on the flip side. And guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. And I'll see you guys later. And please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, please support the podcast on Spotify.com. And please, I'm not being a misogynist. I'm just being truthful. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this podcast. And I'll see you guys later. And thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.